Blowing simple, liberal minds with every idea. Critical thinking is his specialty. Dylan Atkins.
3, 2, 1.
Hello to everyone out there. Thank you for listening again. This is Dylan Atkins. Email is dylanforamerica@gmail.com. You can always get a hold of me there. And there is all kind of stuff on Facebook. I want to ask a question that I hear a lot right now in this kind of stage of where the country is. And that is, can America be saved? Can we get back to where we were? And the reason more and more people are starting to ask this is because we see the debt rising. We see the economy kind of climbs and it kind of falls, but not a lot. Normally it climbs a lot, it'll fall a little bit, and climb a lot and fall a little bit. But lately we've just seen kind of a stagnant economy, and also we've seen cost of living go up. We've seen more dishonesty in the government. We've seen more, and that's not to say that there hasn't always been a lot of dishonesty in the government. That is that we're seeing it more now. So people, their faith in the government is kind of waning. Their faith in the economy is starting to go away. Their idea of what America is kind of changing. And so a lot of people are starting to ask a question. Looking at the future, it doesn't look too bright the way things are going. So is there a way, is it possible to save what America used to be? The greatest power the world has ever known, the highest standard of living of any country in the world. And so that's a very valid question. It's a question I ask myself a lot. It's a question a lot of people ask me. And the answer to that question for me is very simple, and it is yes. And that is because if you feel there is no hope, if you feel no, it cannot be changed, if you feel that where we are headed is the only destination and there's no way we can turn back, then there is no reason to fight. And if there's no reason to fight, you're not going to. And if you're not going to, nothing ever will happen. So we have to have hope. Everything good starts with hope, because you have to have enough hope to actually feel like you need or can do something, and that is, it is possible to actually succeed at the goal that you're trying to get to. So yes, America, I believe, can be saved. And how do we get there? It's a long road, a long road. It's going to take a long time, but we can get there, and it is by sending honest people to Washington, to your city governments, and to your state governments. I've said it in other shows. I'll say it again. How do you know if somebody is honest? How do you know that they are going to align themselves with what is best for the country, best for the economy, best for the cost of living, best for the debt to be cut down? And that is, look at voting records. Look at how they voted on things. If they vote for a lot of tax hikes, if they vote for budgetary increases, then they're probably not going to do very well. They're just going to add to the problem. But if you look at, you have to also look at what they campaigned on. If they campaign on lower taxes and they get to the city government or state government or federal government and they do the opposite, then that's not good. They're clearly not doing what they said they were going to do. Therefore, they're not honest. Now, you can look that kind of stuff up on the internet. There's sites. I think it's votesmart.com actually has voting records for these such things, and it's so you know what they voted for. So you can tell if they come up for re-election what it is they did, so you know if you want to send them back. Now, if it is their first time, you kind of have to trust. You kind of have to trust them a little bit. As hard as that is to do, that's what you got to do. Now, main thing is that actually helps with bringing America back is your personal hope that it can be brought back. It's your personal idea that me, myself, and I can actually make a difference. People every day make differences. You just have to make the decision to be one of them. And it takes resolve. It takes dedication and hard work, but you can do it. And I've said it in other shows, and I'll say it again now, that you can do that by going to your elected officials and holding them accountable, actually telling them what it is you believe and what you think they're doing wrong. And I say they'll listen to it. They should. If they don't reelect them. But the thing is, when it comes to an entire nation, trying to save an entire nation, it literally takes you going and getting with your friends that believe the same way that you do, putting together a plan and an idea of what it looks like, and go to your elected officials and make a case. And also, in the case we're in right now, we have a lot of elected officials that have not, and unelected officials, a bunch of bureaucrats that actually are not doing what they said they would do, and you have to go at it and get rid of them. You cannot forget that these people work for us. We don't work for them. They work for us. They took our money and spent it. That's why we have this debt. They're taking our money to pay for the debt that they incurred because they didn't have our money to spend in the beginning anyway. So this is not something that goes to any particular party. This is not something that goes for any particular president, any particular senator or congressman or city councilman or mayor or governor. This goes for everyone. Even if your mayor, for instance, is doing exactly what you want him to do, you still have to be keeping tabs on them, because there's so much stuff that goes on in the background that no one ever even sees. And you have to make sure that they are doing what they said they would do. They can make it appear that they are doing what you want them to do, but in the background, they're stabbing you in the back. You have to stay on them. And that's what they're there for. You have to realize that is what they're there for. They are there to make your case to the state level, city level, state level, and federal level. And it is imperative that you stay on their back about that. So, okay, outline a plan where we're at today. In government and history and all that. Where we are right now is we have a whole lot of unethical people right now in government that they're not doing what they said they would do, and they're doing the exact opposite of what they said they would do, and they're doing it and flaunting it in front of your face. And saying, well, what are you going to do about it? And that's because the people, me and you and everybody else, have kind of stayed asleep for a while. Now it's time we wake up and we go make a difference. But what do? Petitions don't do a whole lot. To be honest with you, because then again, you can present a petition that's fully signed and fully filled out. You hand it to the city councilman, or you hand it to the state senator or the U.S. senator or whatever, and if they're friends with the guy that you're trying to get rid of, all they have to do is say no. So you literally have to make a case to the courts and say, I want this guy taken out because of, A, B, and C, whatever the issue may be. And we have to get rid of the people who are causing problems right now. We have to get rid of the people who are making decisions that are hurting the country, the people who are making decisions to raise debts, the people who are making decisions to hide things from us. Whoever it may be, you have to actually go and make a decision to get rid of these people. Not hope that someone else does it for you, but you do it. You do it. Because let me tell you, if you don't do it, either somebody else will, which would be great, or nobody will. Sometimes it all comes down to you, and you have to be the one to make the decision. Am I going to let this continue? Am I going to let my kids and my grandkids and my great grandkids have to deal with this mess later, or am I going to get it now so that they can have a better life? And that's me. I want to take care of it now. I don't want to have my kids have to deal with it. I don't want my grandkids or my great grandkids to have to deal with it. I want to deal with it now. And then once you rid the government of those people, which are never going to fully go away, they're not. You just have to get more good ones than bad ones. Right now we have more bad ones than good ones, but it goes in waves like that. But you have to get rid of as many as you can. And it sounds so simple when you're saying it, doesn't it? It's not. But that's why I said it takes hard work and a lot of time, but that's what you do. And then you start sending people who are honest, people who know what is good for the country, people who don't want the big debt, people who don't want defense cut, people who believe in exploration, people who believe in moving forward with what the country is. You know, you think about the importance of NASA. We wouldn't have, good Lord, half the things we have if it wasn't for NASA. All kind of things, like a ton of medicine was created because of NASA. And exploration is a huge part. That's part of moving forward. That's part of having a purpose, is literally, let's just go see what we can find. And when we find something, let's see what we can do with it. That's how America was created. We're tired of where we are. Let's just go look around and see if we can find somewhere else. They found it, and then they said, what can we do with it? And, well, we see what they can do with it, and we're living in it now. And they did an amazing job. This is one of the most advanced countries in the world, one of the biggest economies in the world, strongest military in the world. Well, it is up to us to be the stewards that care for that, to continue it. Otherwise, all their hard work, gone. We can destroy it in a hurry. And you've seen it goes pretty quick. So it's time to send those people up there. But an argument, people say we need to have term limits, and I agree, we do need to have term limits. But you have to remember, you do not want to have, I've heard people say all the time, why don't we just get rid of all of them, everybody in state, U.S. Senate, and everybody in Congress, get rid of all of them, and send in all new people. Well, if every state did that, and like every representative for every state on every level actually was brand new, that may work. The thing is, there's not going to be every state's going to do that. Alabama may do it, Tennessee may do it, Illinois may do it. I don't know, but which they probably wouldn't. But anyway, if you just send like one state's representatives up there that are brand new, they have no clue what they're doing, or you send a few of them up there that don't know what they're doing, a few state representatives that is, then you're not going to get any results because they don't know the game that's played. They don't know the political basketball game that is played, that you have to play to get things done. And that is a sad, sad fact, but it is a fact nonetheless. So you have to have experienced people. The good news is they are good, experienced people. And those people you need to keep in there. And you need to send in new people who agree with the veterans, who agree with what you believe. Then you have an alliance of people, young, enthusiastic people who are just ignorant enough to think they can actually do something, and the veteran guy or girl who knows how to play the game, that knows the in and outs. They give that knowledge to the new guy. They go at it together, and they attack the problem. It's like taking your business from good to great. You don't just worry about getting the right person on the bus. That's a good business. But you take that bus and you put the right person on the right seat on the right bus. Your business is great. In other words, it is taking people at what they're good at. What is their strengths? What do they like doing? And put them in a job in your business or in your government that they're good at, that they enjoy doing, because then they will have a fervor. They will want to go after this issue. They're passionate about it, and they will attack it with everything that they have. And you get, somebody who is good at playing the game for the good of the people. Then you get somebody who is young and enthusiastic and wants to go after the problem. And then you get somebody who's really good at talking. And you put these people together, and each individual, they create a team, and then they go attack the opponent. It's like a basketball game or a football game. You have specific positions that are good for one or two things, and you put each person in their best position, and you send them out after the other team, and you say, go beat them. And you give them direction and ideas, and why don't we do this, and you adjust things. But it's about getting the right people there, and to fight the people who are not there for the good of your country and your good. Because there's so many that are there to make money and have power. Let me tell you, it is incredible, and we've got to get rid of that. Actually, early in our government's history, literally a state senator or congressman that was literally a farmer from the middle of Idaho or something that said, I'll go there for a few years, and I'll give my time and sacrifice, and I'll come back and continue to farm. They didn't make a lot of money. They made enough to live on, but they probably didn't make what they made farming. It was meant to be a service, not a job or a career. It's a job and career now. But that's okay. We can still play with that. We can still get in there and actually do good with that. To me, a political career, starting in city council and working your way to president and, not sitting, in one particular position for any more than 10 years, because then it's, okay, you're a big fish in a really small pond. That's really not that great of an achievement. When you become a big fish in a big pond, hooray to you. But, I would rather be a small fish in a big pond than a big fish in a little pond, because then you're not growing, you're not helping yourself, you're not helping anyone else, you're stagnant, you're bored, and you seem big, but it's delusional, because guess what? If you went up to the next ranks, you'd be a tiny little minnow and you'd get eaten. So back to the original point, we have to keep hope, retain the hope that America can be saved, that the debt can be paid down, that we can save money. I talked about that in other shows on how to save money. If you want to hear that, go back and listen to the other shows. I don't have a whole lot of time to go back into it right now, but let's just say maybe you shouldn't cut money from education and defense, but maybe from a politician. Anyway, so you can go back and listen to that other show. They're all on SoundCloud and YouTube. So the thing is, we've just got to maintain and keep hope that we can actually do good with what we have and make changes where it's necessary. It's up to you. This country's future is up to you. It's up to you. It's up to me. Our kids' futures is up to us. Our grandkids' future in this country is up to us. Our great-grandkids, it's up to us. Because without us, we are literally the defining moment right now. If we can't take it back, then there's no coming back, probably. So it's time. It's time that we either decide, are we going to help fix this problem, or am I going to aid in its progress by not doing anything? So just remember that. Every single day, try to figure out a way to make this country better. Make your city better, your state better. By doing that, you'll make your country better. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you next time.